Now, let's move on to other stories, because National Security Minister Albert Kandapa is courting the National Peace Council to help them deal with political vigilante groups that he says are the biggest threats to the national security. According to the National Security Minister, the democracy Ghana is enjoying is hugely threatened by the growing phenomenon. Albert Kandapa was speaking at the launch of a research conducted by the Institute for Development Studies and the National Peace Council on the strategies the National Peace Council employed in preventing many violent situations in the 2016 elections. Richard Kujanyako has more.
Declare this well-researched objective report duly.
The research conducted by the Institute for Development Studies at the University of Cape Coast and launched by the chairman of the National Peace Council tied on the efforts the National Peace Council made to foil potential violent situations in the country in the 2016 elections. The researchers explained the 2016 elections remain one of the elections in the country that witnessed minimal violence in many hotspots. Speaking at the launch of the research, the National Security Minister, Albert Kandapa, emphasized the need for the National Peace Council to support the nation by stamping out political vigilante groups. He explained the politicians remain powerless and need the support of the National Peace Council that is clothed with the power by statute to root out such a practice.
Mechanisms including inter-party dialogues have been employed to resolve some of these problems. There is this emerging trend of party vigilante groups. We need to watch it. It can derail our democracy. It can destroy whatever peace we think we have. And I think the National Peace Council should find a way to address this growing phenomenon. The Nigerians have found that yes, it starts as a political vigilante group and ends up as something much bigger than all the political parties put together. If 2016 was successful in terms of the absence of large-scale violence, let's just try to understand what was responsible for that. Don't let us assume that, oh, this one, it was an act of God.
Development expert and one of the lead researchers on the project, Professor Stephen Kendi, maintained the fear of people losing their jobs, the winner-takes-all syndrome after elections, account for many conflicts that arise before, during, and after elections. He called for a concerted approach to deal with the issue to minimize violence, especially the ones that come after elections.
The situation gets worse even after the elections due to the winner-takes-all arrangements that govern post-election situations in many countries, including Ghana. Is it any wonder that Sarah Sanders was recently heckled and asked to leave a restaurant because the owner objected to her work for President Trump? She was the third Trump appointee removed from a restaurant during the week ending June 23, 2018. These are recent matters.
The researchers also recommended the institutionalization of inter-party dialogue at the regional and constituency levels. They also advocated a collaboration between the National Peace Council and the traditional authorities, as well as a continuous peace education in schools and many communities. Richard Kujanyako, JoyNews, Cape Coast.